are supposed to enforce the policies of the ministry. So that is why, ladies and
Waziri,
gentlemen,
let me help you.
yes.
You know, when you tell members of parliament that you have officers on the ground, they are supposed to enforce your policies, it means they are not enforcing. It will be helpful to tell these members that you are going to ensure that your officers on the ground enforce the directives and policies from the ministry. Then things will work better.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that assistance. Let me confirm that we are going to ensure that our officers on the ground enforce the directives of the ministry. We are also making, and let me put it this way, we are also doing the amendment to the Basic Education Act, which is coming to you. And our suggestion is that we criminalize failure by the officers to enforce the policies and regulations of the ministry. So, Honorable Wako's question, as I said, we'll be gazetting the school fees this Friday. The gazette notice has already been prepared. And yes, for day but the gazette notice combines everything, including the day secondary schools. So that gazette notice is coming out. Dr. Nikal's question on grade 9 classroom, as I indicated earlier, an assessment was done, and the classrooms for grade 9 that were required were 23,000, and that has been done. So that problem of grade 9 transitioning from grade 8 in junior schools has been sorted out. And as I've indicated, the transition to grade 10 has taken place, and the exit report will be able to indicate to us which classrooms are remaining so that we can make a decision after working with the public and all of us on how we are going to handle the empty spaces and what we are going to do about the students or about those schools. The question on Lenana School, Bwana Scoot, I'd like you to respond to that question on Lenana School and what we are doing to ensure that our other children able differently also do not miss school. Yes.
Are you done?
Scoot is answering that question on the measures that are in place to ensure that our students able differently are in school. The Honorable Kipchumba's
Thank
question.
you, CS. With regard to Lenana School,
Tell us who you are first.
yeah, my name is Sugut William, Head of Senior School Education.
What name?
Sugut William.
William. Go
Yes.
ahead, William.
With regard to Lenana School is in an integrated school. That means it handles regular children and special needs children, particularly in those that are physically impaired. And what we have seen this year is an upsurge of the numbers of children in special needs. And so we are supporting the school to enhance the capacity.
You are not answering the question that was asked. Lenana was used as an example.
Yes, sir.
But you are asked, what is the ministry doing to accommodate children with special needs across the country?
Okay.
It was not about expanding facilities in Lenana. Isn't that what Kipchumba asked? Yes.
Yes,
That
Speaker.
we have children with autism, physical incapacity, some with partial mental incapacity, and so on.
Yes.
Lenana may be an example school. What policy do you have to accommodate such children across the country? That was the question.
Thank you, Speaker. Sir, what has happened is that we have a total of 37 special needs schools that we have dedicated to handle all the array of special needs issues, from visually impaired, hearing impaired, to physically impaired. The ministry also gives an enhanced capitation for purposes of ensuring that infrastructure in these schools is taken care of. This financial year, for instance, we benefited from the National Treasury by receiving 100 million, which has been shared to those schools. Each of them will get 2.7 million to be able to improve the infrastructure across the board. And we will continue then to get the data and be able to support all these special needs schools with the support of KISE and the various agencies of government. Thank you, Speaker.
Go on, Minister.
Honorable Ambeyo's question
Yes,
on opening of...
Yes, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Even as he gives that answer, there was a policy change, not only in Kenya, but worldwide, including Kenya, that children with special needs, if they are not too severe, should be integrated in schools, in mainstream schools. So actually, schools like Alliance, like Lenana, Moi Girls Eldred, should be attempting to have a certain quota reserved for those children, because they have to know how to live with normal society. Because one day they'll have to come to the workplace. 4% of the workplace is reserved for people with disabilities. And I think that's where the challenge is. And I think that's how that question was being directed by Mr. Kipchumba, Honorable Kipchumba, right?
So Honorable Ambeya's question, Omar and Katana also dealing with these issues of the extra levies, opening of shops in schools to sell things like uniforms to parents. That's what we've said. It is in the policy, and we're going to ensure that it is enforced. Issues of remedial fees that we've discussed. And also, Honorable Mari asked about us providing the list of the infrastructure funds distributed across the country in the last 10 years. Mr. Sgut, and I can see Hassan there. When are you providing this? You have the data.
So we have the data. We have the data and we can provide immediately.
Go on.
All right. I have answered the question of disbursement of the 22,000, and the question of whether the funds that we've released this time is supposed to pay for the debts of last year. No, it's not supposed to pay for the debts of last year. It's supposed to be paid for this year. And that is a different conversation that needs to be had, because it's not just last year that we did not give full 22, but also previous years that have indicated is as a result of what we receive. The JS autonomy is a conversation that is still going on to determine how to handle the JS in junior schools of the teachers and the other activities that they are involved with. One of the proposals is that we might have to have a deputy principal in charge of junior school to handle issues relating to the JS teachers and in that space. In terms of the security of our teachers up north, we are working with the Ministry of Interior. In fact, as we speak, there is a team that was dispatched yesterday from the ministry, from TSC and from Interior, and they are up there trying to find out solutions to ensure that all our teachers are secured in the schools where they are teaching. So that we are working with the Ministry of Interior to support us in that place. The role of sponsors is provided for in the Basic Education Act, and they get involved in a number of activities as stipulated in the Act, but where we discuss and we find that maybe something needs to be changed, we would be able to discuss with them, have stakeholder engagements with them to ensure that there is no conflict in handling matters in those schools. There was a last question.
Of withholding certificates by Mwinyi.
Yes, I did indicate that we are enforcing that provision because it is in the Act, but as I indicated, the weakness is there is no penalty provided for. it is administrative action, but we are working to ensure that that particular provision is enforced. The last.
Who is shouting point of order? Wamchomba, is it a point of order or you want to ask a question? Emase? Emase, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, my point of order is on certificates. Because parents are not being given the certificates. And at some point in another fora, you indicated the possibility of transiting certificates through the district education offices as opposed to the principals. What is the progress on that? Because right now, Honorable Speaker, a parent who has even cleared the fees, when the child goes to pick the certificate so that they can proceed to the university, is being told you lost 24 books. How possible is it that a student lost 24 books? I just had a call today. A student is claimed to have lost 24 books. And to pay remedial, 50,000. I mean, this is bullshit. What is the progress?
That is wrong language. Withdraw that.
I withdraw, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
But we feel it on behalf of the parents. Because this is a conduit of corruption. And it must be dealt with.
Waziri, sit down, Omongina.
The question of certificates, as I've indicated, has been a thorn, and we are doing everything possible to ensure that the enforcement of that provision is done, because it is illegal under the Act for any principal to withhold a certificate belonging to a student. The question of Honorable Madhenge on the 36% of KCSE, it is true that from the KCSE, a number of the students who are in C4 did not get good grades. But this particular system is slightly different from Form 4, because this one is not dependent on the exam alone. So we anticipate that going forward, the support we'll give to these schools, including ensuring that the infrastructure sent to these schools is across the board, because now things like sports is not a co-curricular, but it is mainstream. So the resources will be going to these schools to ensure that the facilities are in place, and because it is a competency-based, we anticipate that that number of children not doing too well from C4 will go down. Thank you.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, we have the next CS Duale waiting. Do we get him in or we take another round? Okay. Do we take him in or we take another round? Okay. Take your seats. Let me see the hands. Wanjala, you'll be number one. Mbeyu, you are in the last cohort, so I can't give you now. Let's be fair to others. Nicholas, number 2. Wamaua, number 3. Ambassador Sigei, number 4. Wamshomba, number 5. Even if you wave your hand and you are not in the radar, I will not give you. We have reached number 5. Huko nyuma kuna nani? The member in a white shirt, I can't see you properly. Ni nani? Maungu, number 6. Atandi, number 7. Wangwe, number 8. Number 9. Kemei, number 9. Rueda, number 10. And member for Garissa Town, number 11. Let's take those. Yes. It's member for Garissa, not town. It's major. Waitan, sorry. Waitan from Mandera. Let's take those. If it's your wish that you carry on, I'll give you. Let's take those. Number one question each. Wanjala.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Waziri did come to Parliament to answer questions. And Mr. Speaker, Waziri disbursed capitation money to ghost schools. And he promised Parliament that indeed they were investigating and people will be brought to books. Till today, Mr. Speaker, all those billions, we still don't know whether those people are arrested or whether the people in the ministry who are recipients of that money, that's why they have not taken against those people, because this money was disbursed to banks. They know who withdraws this money. Till today, those billions, they are unable to pay capitation to schools, but a lot of money went to ghost schools.
Thank you. Next, Nicholas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, some parts of this country, they have suffered since independence through the policies of the Ministry of Education. Mr. Speaker, where I come from, I have 13 secondary schools in my constituency. And the Honorable Majority Leader has just confirmed to us here that in his constituency, there's a school with 100 students. And here it has 28 teachers. I have a school called AIC Kangitit Boys Secondary School with the enrollment of 150. From 2022 up to date, it has only 2 teachers, the head teacher and one of the teachers. It has done examination 4 times. Mr. Speaker, my question to the minister or the CS, is the CS aware of these situations in some parts of this country? Because as I have just recited on that school, I have a school called Katilia Girls, AIC Katilia Girls Secondary School, with 371 students, with only 3 teachers. It has done examination 6 times. I have tried so many times to talk to the ministry, talk to the TSC, but my concerns, they have not been answered. What plans has the ministry has for these schools in those remote areas of this country? And we are trying to say, we are trying to balance education in this country. How balanced is our education as per what I have just said?
Point made. Next, Wamaua.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. My question is on the activity money that is charged in our primary schools. Mr. Speaker, last year and the other year, the parents were being asked for 400. Now from January, I heard from the Director of Education, it is now 500. And they are charging per head. So you go to the parents, you tell them education is free, and they start asking you, how is it free? Other than the activity money, and they are charging per head. Then ask 100 for exam and other monies. Mr. Speaker, sir, are we telling our parents that this is part of telling them they should not give birth to many children? Because for that parent who has 4 children or 5 or 6, you multiply by 5,000, you can see how much they are paying. Yet we are saying that education is free. So, Waziri, can you tell us on how this money is supposed to? Is it supposed to be maybe standardized? Or can we do away with it? Or is it supposed to be part of the capitation?
Sigay.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to raise an issue on World Bank projects. Mr. Speaker, about 10 years ago, projects to construct laboratories in Soti constituency were given out by the World Bank. And Mr. Speaker, since then, the only thing which has been done was to bring bring the construction to the slab level. Nothing has been done. Mr. Speaker, I'm seeking a statement from the minister as to what happened, the status, how much money has been used, and what plans he has to complete these projects. People are suffering, the students are suffering. Mr.
Thank
Speaker.
you.
Yes.
Next, Wamchomba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, through your guidance and your leadership, I brought a motion on uniform in the House. We debated on matters uniform, and the Able Committee of Education directed that the ministry provides clear direction to head teachers on matters uniform. It is very disappointing that 2 years down the line, Mr. Speaker, the same issue of uniform that we debated in this House has not been sorted. So in other words, Mr. Speaker, the minister is making us look like we don't work. He's actually making us getting bashed by our own voters. When he comes here and tells us that the TSC is yet to implement an administrative regulation. I am not satisfied as a mover of that motion, and I think this minister and his PS should be fired with immediate effect because they are not helping us. Mr. Speaker, on the same issue of uniform.
You are now making a speech.
Sorry.
Ask a question.
My question is the minister aware that a certain school in Githunguri constituency called Kagwe Girls, the kids, it is now a national school, that grade 10 students reported and they were not admitted in that school, all the way from Turkana. Parents and children slept or spent the night on the benches of that school at the reception for 2 nights just because they did not come with the right uniform. This issue of uniform, Mr. Speaker, is very serious, and the minister is actually playing games with us. We have done our part as members of parliament. He should take his job very seriously, or else he should be fired.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bwana CS, you were on record having indicated that the ministry will be shutting down schools that have admitted few students in grade 10. Yet we have a trend taking place currently in the country whereby greedy principals are over-admitting grade 10 learners in their schools. You find that a school that has been categorized as a 4-stream school has admitted close to 10 streams, stretching the facilities they have in terms of teachers, in terms of laboratories, and even classrooms. What steps is the ministry putting in place to tame these greedy principals who over-admit for the sole purpose of getting capitation and therefore denying these learners an opportunity to have a free and a fair learning environment? Thank you.
Thank you, Atandi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, every year, Budget Committee engages in public hearings across several counties across the country, in which the citizens are allowed to give their views on which project they would like to be factored and a public participation vote. Honorable Speaker, it has come to our attention that for the last 2 financial years, the Ministry of Education has failed to implement those projects. I want to understand from the Minister why he has failed to implement those projects for the 2 financial years that we have done the budgets. And lastly, on the budget, Honorable Speaker, from the records we have, the total resource requirement for capitation is 129 billion. This is information we have from the Ministry of Finance and from the Budget and Education Committee. But I've seen that from the report presented by the Minister that we have a deficit of 48 billion. From our records, we allocated 93.6 billion for capitation. And therefore, the deficit that we should be talking about is 35 billion, not 48 billion. Madam Minister, please, you need to clarify on that. Thank you.
Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want the CS to be very specific on when is he planning to submit the capitation for grade 10 students, Honorable Speaker. And underscore, Honorable Speaker, this, that he has undertaken to send the books for grade 10 by the first week or so of February. But while sending the books, Honorable Speaker, they use a specific number of students. But while sending capitation, they choose not to rely on the same figure to send the money for capitation. where is the discrepancy coming from, such that during the remittance of capitation, there is always less amount sent to schools. But in terms of distribution of books, Honorable Speaker, there are various books which are submitted to students, even by 100% or even 200% of the candidates. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Beatrice Kamei.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And to the Minister, I want to ask this question. What action or help are you giving to the schools which have posted poor results or low results over the years? I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, with this in mind that there is one school in Gericho, Moisito Tuet, where parents are actually protecting or defend, they are actually protecting the school, while on the other hand, Honorable Speaker, they are trying to attack the teachers, especially on the road. So the teachers are not safe and the school is not doing well. Honorable Speaker, the minister has said that he's working with the Ministry of Interior to make sure that there is security of all the teachers. But here, Honorable Speaker, is the minister aware or does he have information of all the schools which are insecure? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Roida.
Waziri, Lamu Mashariki imethibitisha uhaba wa walimu ndio imekuwa sababu kubwa watu student wetu kuanguka kwa mitihani. 2022 tulipeleka mwanafunzi hakuna mwanafunzi hata mmoja tulipeleka university. 2023 tulipeleka wanafunzi wawili the whole constituency. 2024 tulipeleka wanafunzi 4. 2025 tumepeleka 19. Munipigie makofi.
Well done.
Sasa natoe mfano shule moja Siu Secondary. Result ya 2022 ilikuwa D-2, D plane 2, D-7, E20. Lakini hii 2025 imetoa B1, B-1, C+2, C-3, D+2, D5 na D-10, E1. Na hii ni sababu hii shule kwa miaka yote walikuwa wakifanya chemistry, hawajawahi ona mwalimu wa chemistry. Safari hii shule zangu zimepata walimu, na sio kwa ministry, ni kwenda kuomba president kumlilia paka kaelewa shida. Ministry paka sasa hawajaelewa. Swali langu ni hili: hii miaka yote tumekuwa tukigandamizwa, tutalipwa nini? Manake vijana wetu generation zimekufa na imeonekana ni kama marginalization wazi, na wengine hawajui kwamba marginalization, wanasema marginalization imetokea bila wao kujua, lakini kukutaka wao nyingi wengine wanakosa, tunakuwa marginalized. Sasa huko nyuma, for us to catch up with others, mtatufanyia nini?
Waitan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is to ask about the issue of infrastructural allocation in the constituencies. As the Member of Parliament for Mandara East constituency, for the last 3 years, I have not seen any allocation for any infrastructure in my constituency. Other constituencies in the country or the areas are developed more than the other constituencies, especially the northern parts of this country. We are far much behind when it comes to infrastructure. As you know very well, CDF is based on ward, the number of wards that you have in your constituency. Unfortunately, other wards have more secondary schools, other constituencies have more secondary schools than others, but our funds are based on ward. I personally have 22 secondary schools and 61 primary schools, but the funds allocated are the same. What I wanted to ask the CS is that, how do you normally allocate the infrastructural funds in the constituencies? Because we, the members of parliament, know that the disparities, the shortages in the schools, even the little amount they send through the principals.
Point made.
Yes. How do they allocate?
Lillian Kogo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. CS Education, why don't you pick your calls? I don't call you for anything personal. When I call you, I'm a representative of the people, and you don't pick your call. And you expect 350 members to come and camp in your office? Why don't you pick your calls? I text you, you don't return my text. Do you know that there are elected leaders whom you should liaise with when you are going to their constituencies? You come to Rangwe, they make for you tea, they do lunch, and you don't tell me you are in my constituency. Then you make a promise you are going to do a multipurpose hall. Nothing has been done on it up to today. How do you go to my constituency to do foundation stone and you don't involve me? Wewe.
Cameron. Order. Cameron.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question to the CS Education, can the Minister state what steps is he going to take over the destruction of Laramoru Primary School? Mr. Speaker, Laramoru Primary School is a school that was opened as a result of a dispute that was there. The people of Laramoru has been fighting for the last 25 years. That is mandatory. And the other day, they agreed to open a school. That is 2 years ago. Then somebody decided to come and destroy the entire school. Now the pupils are learning under trees. What steps are you taking as the Minister of Education to make sure that those children of Laramoru are getting education like any other children? The last one, Mr. Speaker.
There is no luxury of two questions, one only.
I was only requesting the Minister to visit and see the situation of the school. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, you can now answer the questions. What's your point of order, Nyamai?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I would like to ask, I have 304 schools in my constituency. I believe that is the highest in the country. And there is a question that has been asked by so many members about distribution of infrastructure development funds. Honorable Speaker, is it a secret? Why is it that this cannot be projected here for us to see? And Honorable Speaker, if it cannot be done today, I would like to ask that you order that the Cabinet Secretary shows us that list, because that is how schools that have been marginalized can benefit. And this fund does not benefit these schools. Honorable Speaker, who is going to give us a solution to school fees? If the ministry gives 22,244 shillings, parents are paying fees, we are giving bursaries, and every fortnight, every 2 weeks, students are in the market being sent home. Who has the spine to deal with these officers who cannot ensure that government policies are followed? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the first question on the action that we are taking after the verification exercise, that verification exercise has been completed. We are releasing it next week, and then action will be taken against the culprits, and we'll present the whole report to yourselves for further action in certain sections. Also, we'll present it to DSCI and also to EACC. Once we release it next week, action will be taken against all the officers and the principals involved in any irregularity. The question that relates to the 13 schools, 28 teachers, this is the reallocation by Honorable Nicholas, the issue of rationalization of these teachers in schools, where some teachers are more in schools and other schools do not have teachers. This is the exercise that we indicated that we would be working with TSC to ensure that there is redistribution of the teachers to the schools that do not have enough teachers of various subjects, so that we do not disadvantage any of our learners. Wamahua's question, Honorable Wamahua, any activity that is charged by a primary school is illegal and irregular, as activity is fully funded by the ministry in the capitation that is normally released. To Honorable Atandi's question that relates to issues of public participation, the ministry has not effected the implementation of those projects because the resources have not been received. It is a funding challenge. Once the resources are received, we will be able to undertake the implementation of those projects. Honorable Sigei raised a question.
Yes, who is shouting point of order? Atandi, is it Atandi? Atandi, then Makali.
Honorable Speaker, the minister is not saying the truth. When I spoke to National Treasury, they said the ministry has never done any requisition for implementation of those projects. So he cannot claim that the reason the projects are not implemented is because of lack of resources. Thank you.
Makali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, I think this is a very serious session, and we need serious answers, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the issue of funds having not been released is not the truth. Honorable Speaker, we are talking about last year, but one, and this year, Honorable Speaker. And this is not unique to this ministry. It applies to all the ministries where public participation resources have been sent. Honorable Speaker, I think the CSCs in this country are not taking members of parliament seriously. They think we just waste our time and they can do whatever they want to do. It is time we take action, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, we are going to mess the country. You go out there, you promise things, we can't act as parliament. So we are being seen, Honorable Speaker, as a toothless parliament. You must protect us, Mr. Speaker.
Go on, Minister. Wamawa, take your seat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
He has answered your question.
I will follow up on the issue of requisition and confirm.
He has said the parents should not pay any activity money.
Yes.
So, Minister, what are you doing about it?
We are gazetting that irregularity that the Gazette is coming on Friday, showing what the parents are supposed to pay and not pay. And after that, our officers in the field will fully implement.
Minister, what is coming out is perhaps there's a disconnect between your ministry and your officers in the field. Because the days we went to school, when an education officer or inspector stepped in our school, everything came to a standstill. And everybody was held to account. I think you should go back to that, because I also come from a county and I see what goes on. Your field men and women are not simply working. So you need to do something.
I'm well guided, Mr. Speaker. We'll definitely act.
Take your seat, Mami.
Yes. Give us the opportunity. We are going to make sure that this
house will support you.
Yes.
To streamline education in this country.
Thank you.
But you must take the big stick and walk with it.
Thank you.
Let him answer all the questions pending first. Go ahead.
Honorable Sigei's question on World Bank projects that were started 10 years ago that have not been done or completed. I am aware that there is a SEQUIP program that was done that was not properly conducted or implemented, and I know that there is an audit that is going on at the moment to be able to inform the decision that will be made on actions that will be taken on those incomplete projects. So once the report of the audit is completed, we will take the necessary action and the necessary steps depending on the recommendations of that report. This question of uniforms, we've responded to it by Honorable Wamchomba. We have indicated that the teachers are not supposed to be selling uniforms in school. They should allow parents to buy uniforms from wherever they find the uniforms to be cheaper. But as I said, it's a conversation that we have to make sure that we come up with a lasting solution to the menace that has been brought about by teachers sending away students because of uniforms, including the case that you mentioned, which I wasn't aware of, that they stayed for 2 days in the benches, but we'll get a report on it and take action against that principle. I hope you still don't want me to get fired. Honorable Maungu, this says, these teachers did indicate how many students they will be receiving, and they indicated the capacity of those institutions. So the students were allocated to those schools based on the capacity of those schools. And as I indicated earlier, students were allowed to select the schools of their choice to which they were going. So that once we do the exit report, after we complete the exercise this Friday, then we'll have conversations on what we are going to do about the schools that did not receive any students, and the rationalization and reallocation of the teachers and other resources and infrastructure that would be in those institutions. So we'll rationalize that to ensure that even these schools that received more of the students than what they normally do is because they had an extra classroom arising out of the fact that we did not have Form 2s currently. The budget deficit that I've indicated as being 48, it is the figure that has been presented to us, and it was the figure that was presented, and it is true. Whether it is a shortfall of 35 billion or 48 billion, it just means that we still do not have the capacity to pay out to the schools the actual amount that is stipulated in the policies, and we'll need your support to raise this figure to that particular policy amounts so that we can be releasing the amounts to schools that they actually deserve. Now, the capitation that we release is based on the data that we receive from the schools, and there's no discrepancy between the number of the students that we are sending textbooks to that of capitation. The number is aligned because we receive that from the schools. The question of the security of our teachers in the Kericho areas, I indicated we are working with the Ministry of Interior. I don't have the full list of all the schools where there is insecurity, but our teams work with the security teams on the ground, just like we are protecting every other person to ensure that our teachers are safe in the schools that they are in, so that they do not have to run away from those places or from those institutions.
But this kind of security Kemei talked about, Waziri, is not the same as the one in northern Kenya or in Baringo. She's saying parents are attacking teachers because they have been posting poor results year in, year out. So it's a question of standards that the parents are resisting. What do you do about that?
I think in cases like those where we get the information, we liaise with TSC to either move the teachers around and find out what the issue is. So each case is treated on its own basis to be able to get the right decision. But generally, we work with the Ministry of Interior to ensure that the security of our teachers and learners in our schools. The question of Honorable Weda about what will happen in making remedial responses to the continuous neglect of the schools in Lamu East. We have an affirmative action that we take as a ministry, but I wouldn't be able to indicate whether there'll be any sort of payment for what has already been lost. What we can do is just work together to ensure that those areas that have been disadvantaged, they get fast-tracked so that we release enough teachers there, enough facilities in order to ensure that we do not continue with the neglect of those areas. The infrastructure released to constituencies, we've indicated and my team has confirmed that we are going to distribute that list to Parliament so that each person can see how the infrastructure fund has been distributed across the country in the last 10 years. Honorable Lillian, I'm not quite sure that I've been to Lambwe to lay any foundation stone, but I apologize if I've not picked your calls. Going forward, I will endeavor to ensure that I pick all calls, but I've not been to that place. But I will be able to pick those ones when I'm able to. Thank you. The primary school that was demolished by, I'm not sure whether we are talking about the same issue that you discussed with me on the environment, on the forest. And if that is the issue, I did raise this issue with my colleague, and we did agree that the school will continue where it is. And I think you have put up something for the school to continue, and we'll be able to come and support you because we agreed that they should not demolish it further. The distribution of development fund, that's the same issue that I have said that will provide the list across the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Waziri. He asked about ghost schools.
I did.
You did. What did you say?
He was not there.
Wanjala, he said.
You are not there.
Wanjala, take your seat.
You had gone out.
He said.
When I responded.
An investigation was carried out. It is of a criminal nature, and a report will be out next week. That's what he said. Honorable members, he has also answered your question. He did. Honorable members, having listened to everything we have said, I have directed the clerk. Order. You have raised very pertinent issues. Inadequate and inequitable distribution of resources, inadequate and inequitable distribution of teachers. You've heard of the majority leader talking of a school with about 100 students, with 28 teachers. Nicholas with 300 students with 2 teachers. There must be some rationalization to balance the country. All the issues you have raised will be teased out, handed to the Committee of Education, and I want to have a meeting with the leadership and the Committee of Education to address these issues so that we can be able to bring back to plenary in Parliament and see how best we can be able to balance the country for our children to go to school properly. So we leave it here, but I want ministers, you live here. I heard you lament about bursaries. That member of parliament from Changamwe raised an issue in parliament once, which I also took up. And Njoroga, our clerk, even wrote to your ministry. The basket from where we get money for education is one. One of the biggest pilferages of money is bursaries. The MCA is giving bursary, the MP is giving bursary, the governor is giving bursary, the ministry is giving bursary, there is a presidential bursary kitty, banks are giving money for bursaries, women reps are giving bursary from the ANGAF money. Everybody is duplicating the same thing over and over. And if this money was put in a basket and administered properly, we will not be having these problems. And it takes courage, Minister, to make a decision of this nature. Because along the way, there are myriads of cartels that are benefiting from these multiple efforts in the same direction. So it's entirely up to you to decide how you help this country to stop, because you'll find these MPs, a person has come from an MCA, is carrying money, he's gone to the governor, is carrying money, he goes to the MP, he takes money, and everybody is putting money, and out of fear, because these MPs fear their constituents, if you don't give the money, they will vote you out. But if you manage to centralize and harmonize the disbursement of funds, I assure you, you can easily pay for every education of every child in this country without looking for money elsewhere. So we encourage you, and Meli, as the chair of the committee, help the ministry to formulate proper policies and see how things can be done. Sometimes you have to make very painful decisions to make the country move better. You've had Waziri, a name is number for every child. Members will now release the Minister for Education and his team so that we move to health. On the program, we are supposed to have a health break. We will not have it. We will move straight to the Ministry of Health. Migozo Gamba and your team, you can now exit quietly so that we start our new session. Who is here? Rachel. Yes. Okay. Pardon? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, yes, yes. Order, members. Honorable Gamba, tokea mlango ya nyuma na timu yako. Education team, exit through the back door. Sergeant, show them the door.
Don't go yet. You're going to come.
Honorable members, take your seats. Take your seats.
So, honorable members, we now move to session topic number 7, which is the state of healthcare in the country and any proposed legislative interventions, which will be done by the Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Health. I will just move to the introduction. Honorable Duale holds a Bachelor of Education degree from Moi University, 1992, and a Master of Business Administration from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in 2012. His early education includes Boys Town Primary School, Garissa High School, and Moi Forces Academy, Nairobi. He began his professional career as a graduate teacher before transition. He served as an Assistant Minister for Livestock from 2008 to 2011 in the Grand Coalition government, and played a leadership role in the Yes campaign in the northeastern part of Kenya, and which led to the promulgation of the Constitution 2010. In 2013, he was elected Member of Parliament for Garissa Township and was appointed a pioneer leader of majority in the National Assembly under the 2010 Constitution, a position he held up until 2020. As leader of majority, he oversaw the passage of over 200 bills and more than 500 motions, and served as the principal liaison between the executive and the legislature. In 2022, he was deeply involved in the founding of the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, and was re-elected to Parliament for for the 4th term on the UDA ticket. He was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Defense in October 2022, a position he held until 2024. Following the subsequent cabinet reshuffle, he served as Cabinet Secretary for Environment, and in March 2025, he was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Health, a position he holds to this date. A senior legislator and national leader, Honorable Duale has served 4 terms in Parliament across 4 political parties and is recognized for his institutional leadership, legislative experience, and commitment to public service and constitutional governance. Karibu, Honorable Duale.
Honorable members, thank you, Deputy Speaker. The chair of this session is Rachel Nyamae. And Honorable Duale, take the podium. Once the minister finishes his presentation, we'll give Dr. Nyikal 3, 4, 5 minutes at the very most if he has anything to say. Then we'll go the same way of asking questions for the minister to answer. Rounds of 10, 10, 10 until we finish with him, then we break for lunch. Minister, karibu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, the leadership of the House, Honorable Chairpersons of committees, distinguished members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a distinct honor first for me to stand before this august House today, and I do it so with a very profound sense of gratitude. The journey to transform Kenya's health care system has been long and tedious, but it's a journey we have walked together. This House has been the bedrock of that transformation. Without your legislative wisdom, your oversight, and your bipartisan support, the milestone we celebrate today could remain mere aspiration. And for that, Honorable Speaker, I want to say asanteni sana, and we are happy that you stood with us. Honorable members, our mandate basically is anchored in the better agenda, the bottom-up economic transformation. When this administration took office, we made a very solemn vow that healthcare will no longer be a privilege for the few who can afford it, but a constitutional right for every Kenyan, as it is enshrined in Article 43. Health is not just a social service, it is a key economic pillar. And I say that with conviction that a healthy nation is a productive nation. We committed to shifting the paradigm shift from curative to preventive care and from catastrophic out-of-pocket expenditure to social insurance model that leaves no one behind. To realize this, Honorable Speaker, this House undertook a historic legislative marathon. You debated, you refined, and you enacted 4 crucial laws that now form the legal spine of our healthcare system. And that is the Social Health Insurance Act of 2023 that established SHA and replaced NHIF, the Digital Health Act of 2023 that created the Digital Super Highway for Health Data, and the Primary Health Care Act of 2023 that operationalized the hub and the spoke model and the community health promoters. And finally, more importantly, the Facility Improvement Financing Act of 2023 that ensured funds raised in hospitals stay in hospitals. Honorable Speaker, let us be very honest about where we came from. Prior to these reforms of this administration, our systems was ailing. We had a very fragmented financing model where NHIF paid out more in fraudulent claims than it collected in legitimate premiums. We had no visibility of the patient data. We had no visibility of the patient records, and patient records were paper-based. Making portability was impossible. When I first stood before the ministry during my maiden speech on 1st of April 2025, the situation was critical. We were 6 months into the Taifa Care rollout, facing public scrutiny and systemic roadblock. I told the country then that, and I was given a name that I am a bulldozer, and that was for the right reason, to clear the way for universal health coverage. But to crush the bureaucracy and to build a system that works. Today, I return to report to the people's representative how that ground has been cleared, what we are building upon it. And I want to start with the first pillar, the pillar of sustainable health financing. I wish to begin with that pillar, and the transition from NHIF to Social Health Authority is the engine of our reform as an administration and a country. The numbers tell a story of unprecedented success and stability. As of 26 January 2026, we have registered 29 million Kenyans into the Social Health Authority. This mass registration has translated into tangible financial health for our system. We have collected 130.4 billion in contribution. And critically, we have disbursed over 93.4 billion to healthcare providers, both in public, in private, in faith-based, and in our national referral hospitals. Contrary to the inefficiency of the past, we are making great strides in settling all verified, validated claims. Currently, we have achieved an average claim settlement rate of 73% across the board. This means that money is flowing to our hospitals, ensuring that facilities remain stocked and operational. Honorable Speaker, as I say that, I want members to be cognizant of the Schedule 4 of the Constitution, that health is a shared responsibility, that health is a devolved function. A key component of this financing model was the realization through this House of the free primary health care, which has never happened in our country before. We are currently rolling out service charter to primary health care facilities across all the 47 counties. And we are doing this from last week because Kenyans go to primary health care facilities, level 2 and level 3, that's the dispensary and the health center, but they are forced to co-pay. It's supposed to be walk in and walk out. So we have created now a charter, a green label charter, which we are going to fix, and we have started with the Bomet last week. We'll fix it in every level 2 and level 3 public, private, and faith-based health facilities. This charter, and I want to highlight that Bomet Health Center, which has the distinction of being the first facility to successfully roll out this charter. This charter is our promise to the people that at level 2 and 3 facilities, a Kenyan citizen should be able to walk in and walk out as an outpatient without paying a single shilling. We have already seen 800 million Kenyans have accessed services at the Primary Health Care Fund, proving that when financial barriers are removed, our people will seek care early, preventing complications and saving lives. To ensure that this safety net covers everyone, including Mama Mboga and Boda Boda riders, Honorable Speaker, in June of 2025, during Madaraka Day in Homa Bay, President Ruto launched the Lipa Sha Pole Pole initiative. We understood that the informality of our economy requires flexibility. This innovative payment model allows Kenyans in the informal sector to make a small, manageable contribution towards their health cover rather than a lump sum. This has democratized access to insurance, ensuring that economic status is no longer a barrier to quality health care. We are currently having over 410,011 active payers utilizing this Sha Lipa Pole Pole. And so far they have contributed over 1.4 billion a clear indication that Kenyans are willing to pay for their health when given a dignified option. We are also committed, Honorable Speaker and members, to ensuring that the most vulnerable among us are not left behind. The national government is currently sponsoring over 558,000 indigent households, picked from the social health protection data in all our villages and all our counties and constituencies. And those 558,000 indigent households are having the social health insurance fund premium cover. I must also commend a number of counties, and one of the most best counties, Muranga County, which has set a gold standard by fully meeting its statutory obligation and sponsoring over 38,000 indigent households and remitting their full annual premium of the chief. And we asked more other counties, Makueni County, Kisumu County, most of our other counties are also preparing their list between 10,000 to 20,000 indigents so that they can pay for. Honorable Speaker, furthermore, through the through the national government CDF, a number of members of parliament have paid for indigents from their constituencies. And you can see the list here. And there are more that we are going to post. And I have asked the CEO, Honorable Deputy Speaker, representing a number of our women rep, has also submitted the list. And I've asked the CEO of SHA to make a dedicated desk and staff to attend to members of parliament, starting tomorrow once this workshop is finished, so that the figure is known, the figure has been agreed, and is a flat figure, and we want in your constituencies to give us the list. If you tell us to pick it from the database, we will pick it from the database, social protection, but we want our members of parliament, and they have been doing it even before. But right now, because members are asking me, how do we do it? I have directed SHA, now that they have a skeleton staff, to dedicate a specific desk that, and even come to parliament. The clerk of the National Assembly, through the speaker, can even give us a room within parliament where the SHA members can be accessed by members of parliament. Members of parliament do not, even their offices, your staff can access our team in parliament, but we really want. We have collectively together, we are sponsoring partners and development and philanthropies are sponsoring close to 62,000 if I add with the ones of members of parliament. But I want to urge the honorable members to utilize the national government CDF to sponsor the indigent in your constituencies so that we mirror this success to ensure the universal coverage. Honorable members, for a long time, the overseas treatment scheme was a conduit for abuse between doctors in Kenya and hospitals in India and many other places, where cartels and these agents exploited the vulnerable patient and the public purse. That era is over under SHA. We have introduced a robust, transparent framework for overseas referrals that put the patient first and protect our resources. This new policy, Honorable Speaker, is anchored on a simple principle. SHA will only pay for overseas treatment if that procedure is not available locally. Because when you go to India, you are supposed to go with the whole family. It's more expensive for the family, and that is why we have to do a lot of harambe. And to enforce that procedure, I have appointed the Benefits Package and Tariffs Advisory Panel, a team of top experts who have vigorously assessed our local capacity. And I am pleased to report that the panel has successfully identified and listed only 36 medical interventions that are currently not available in Kenya. And these are the only conditions for which SHA will authorize treatment abroad. If you want to pay for yourself, it's okay. But under SHA, it must fall within the 36. The only conditions which the law allowed us. We have also introduced a very strict vetting protocols. Every referral is now subjected to a peer review by the claims office to ensure that the medical necessity is found. Honorable Speaker, we are also requiring that any overseas facility receiving a Kenyan patient must also formally empaneled and contracted by SHA. So you cannot go to India and walk to any hospital. The way we contract Aga Khan and Kenyatta Hospital, the facilities in the foreign nations must come and contract with SHA. And we do it online. Honorable Speaker, we have capped the minimum payable amount for this overseas treatment to 500,000. This will ensure the sustainability while granting access to life-saving procedures. This new framework guarantees that we are not going to exporting our patients and also exporting our money to support healthcare system of other nations. And let me repeat it. We will not export our patients and our money to support healthcare systems in other countries. We must be candid. We must improve our healthcare system so that the money can remain here and support our health facilities. Our patients can be at home, and many members know during the COVID, we could not even return the bodies of our loved ones when they pass in India. Because in some countries, the only thing that happens is cremation. Many Kenyans, particularly of the Christian faith during COVID, they could not bring back their bodies. Airlines have refused. Countries have introduced protocols. So we must build Kenya. We must retain our patients here, treat them, and we must retain our money. Honorable Speaker and members, the transition from NHIF to SHA is not merely a change of logo. It's a fundamental restructuring of our national health insurer to ensure efficiency, integrity, and professionalism. We are building a new institution from the ground, and this requires a fresh, competent workforce. And I wish to be categorical. Recruitment into SHA is strictly based on merit, unlike the NHIF, unlike the defunct NHIF. There is no automatic transition. However, Honorable Speaker, we were guided by the courts. The former staff of NHIF went to court, and we were guided by the law and the courts that we must give priority to competent, qualified former NHIF staff. The days of nepotism and incompetency are behind us. Only those who prove their worth will serve the people of Kenya. And Honorable Speaker, to make the record straight, to date we have only recruited 144 staff members, representing 17% of the total approved establishment of 815 positions. The initial phase focused on securing the top leadership and the core leadership and the technical experts needed to operationalize the authority, including the CEO and the directors. We are now doing a massive recruitment drive for 425 senior officers in order to decentralize them to our counties. And this exercise has been highly competitive. We have received 17,434 applications, and we have, following vigorous shortlisting process, we have shortlisted 1,737. And Honorable Speaker, I want to categorically say the list that is circulating in the social media is a fake list, is not from SHA. And I am ready to present the truth. Yeah, there are people who doctored that list in terms of counties, in terms of tribes, for their own reasons. I have a full report before Parliament, and I'm ready to submit that. That list is fake. That list is meant the people who could not say anything about SHA. They have looked for anything under the sun, and they have generated a fake list. And I am ready to appear before the committee of even cohesion and integration. I think that committee still exists in the House. Yeah, I'm ready to appear before that committee and put everything on the table. But that thing which is going round is not from us. Honorable Speaker, let me go to the pillar number 2, comprehensive healthcare information, digital superhighway. This superhighway has been the game changer in our history, where for the first time, visibility of our healthcare sector, all our 47 governors, the whole leadership of MOH, the president himself has a digital dashboard that he can follow what is going on in the health sector. And Honorable Speaker, if you allow us, we can give Parliament also a dashboard that can be put somewhere. You can see even the bed occupancy of Kenyatta Hospital. We have successfully, up to today, digitized and linked 10,277 transacting faith-based and private hospitals into one digital superhighway. We have specifically have 4,149 public facilities that are now fully digitized, because slowly we are training and we are digitizing them as we move along. And to support the Taifa Care system, we have delivered 30,087 digital devices, including the biometrics. And that's why you see, Honorable Speaker, under SHA, there's no card. Honorable Speaker, under SHA, there's no card. It is your thumb. Particularly now we have finished level 5, and digital devices I'm talking about across the country. And this is to ensure that the most remote dispensary can transact data in real time. Honorable Speaker and members, this digitization is not just about efficiency, it's about the potent weapon against corruption. The era of manual claims, opaque processes allowed theft to thrive. And that's why you see in today's headline, the 11 billion shilling lost between October when SHA kicked off to April when I took over, the system did audit. And we found facilities were stealing because they were used to stealing from NHIF. And how do they steal? So that 11 billion is rejection. We have presented. So that 11 billion is rejection. We have presented to the committee. And I'll give you what are rejections. There are facilities in our country that have reported 100% of the mothers who came to deliver have gone through C-section. That is even against the WHO rule. The WHO rule, international accepted, is 10 to 15% of mothers who go to deliver in hospital will go through C-section. And I think the member for the vice chair of Health Committee, Honorable Pato, is here. When I went to Tharaka Nithi, one private hospital said 500 mothers came here, all of them delivered through C-section. If that happens, it's against the law. The former chair of Health Committee, Honorable Sabina, is looking at me. SHA will not pay. Secondly, we have hospitals who are saying they want to be paid for maternity, and they are not providing two very important documents. The first document is the claim form. Claim form is in the law that you have passed. And even you, when you go to your doctor, a claim form, a legal document, is filled by 3 people. The patient must fill. You have seen your doctor or your nurse after they take the normal thing they tell you fill. Then the doctor fills. Then the hospital administrator fills. A situation where we find, SHA finds that claim forms are filled by one person, one handwriting, one pen. That is a rejection, and we will not pay. It's part of the 11 billion. Thirdly, there are people who are submitting that maternity delivery has taken place in a facility. And any healthcare worker listening to me will know that when a baby is born in a facility, and there are doctors in this August house, there must be a very important document called birth notification. If you submit claim forms for maternity and there's no birth notification, how are we sure that a child was born? That is a rejection we will not pay. Is part of the 11 billion that you saw today the nation has carried. Finally, the last one is when people make claims on surgery procedures that somebody has gone through the theater. There's something called theater notes. And you have seen, as the person is being taken to the theater, there is a file on top of the patient. That file carries the theater notes. So if you don't submit the theater notes to be part and parcel of your claims documents, how will SHA be sure to pay that claim and that procedure and surgery has taken place? I will tell you of something, even PhD, the primary health care facility, which is free outpatient. Now you know the system picks patterns. It's not human beings. These days there are no claim forms. You know, under NHIF, the claim and everything was done at the counties, by manual, by people. And they sit together. Now the system picks patterns. And this morning we have picked a pattern. Let me just add it. In fact, half of my team don't know. In primary health care, in one of our counties we have picked, there's a patient who's accessing one of our dispensary or our health centers in that county, in that facility, 10 times a day. Yes. The how is the rejection. The how is the fraud. The how is the 11 billion that we have. We have just picked it. And we have said it, we will have a conversation with the governor of that county. Because he wants to get more capitation, so it creates, the facility creates ghost patients, and they go in the morning, they come lunchtime, they come, but they don't know that the system picks. We have one patient whose dependents' children were 381 in Kwale County. In Kwale County. And we are giving such patients, we are giving them to the DCI, and we want to, the DCI will ask, can you show us your 371 children? Because the system is speaking. It's not human beings. This system looks for patterns. It will even tell you how many surgeries have you done. Yeah, for dialysis, most Kenyans who go through dialysis, there are two, fully paid by SHA. There are some who go the third one, which they have to pay. If we see this patient going for 10 times dialysis, then that's not a dialysis patient. So the system has really helped us. This system, Honorable Speaker, has what we call AI-driven fraud engine. It's very active. It detects anomalies in real time. For instance, the system flagged the facilities claiming for procedures that they lack equipment to perform. We found one facility in a county where they told us level 3, they said they are doing C-section. So I walked into that facility. And I asked, the governor said that facility cannot do C-section because there's no theater. So I told him, let's go to it. And when I went and we found the gentleman running the place, the first question I asked him is, take me to the theater. And he says, I have no theater. The second question I asked him then, where are you doing these C-sections? Because you have claimed 65 C-sections in the last 2 months, which we have rejected, we have not paid him. So the engine really helped us. The engine also helped us inflating bills for patients who never walked through their doors. Following these system flags, Honorable Speaker, we have engaged the Director of Criminal Investigation to conduct deep investigation. I can confirm to this House, the DCI has so far concluded 24 files for 24 facilities implicated in fraud, Some of the two of the former CEO of SHA are before court. A number of staff of SHA are before court. A number of owners of facilities are before court. 25 doctors, SHA has withdrawn their rights to access because the system picked a pattern of doctors operating in 10 counties. The doctor is in Homa Bay, then he's in Kisii, then you'll find him in Garissa, then you'll find him in Malindi. So the system picked, and some of them were involved. So 22 doctors have been denied their access rights to the portal of SHA. They can go and treat somebody, but if they treat somebody, they cannot do it where the reimbursement of the patient is done. We have also denied rights to, I think, close to 36 clinical officers who we found them in fraud. Files for facilities such as there is a facility called New Manyalo Nursing Home and Brimaxa Hospital. These have already been forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecution. Directors of these facilities have been arrested and charged, and we are not sparing, and I want to say that both the leadership of this House and the President have given us the support that we required. For us to achieve this, we must make bold decisions, hard decisions, and we must always work in the interest of the people. And Honorable Speaker and members, let me be very clear. Kenyan money will not be stolen. The digital system we have built is a fortress. It's like Fort Jesus. It will allow us to track every shilling from the moment a Kenyan contributes to the moment that shilling pays for either a pill, a medicine, or a procedure in a theater. If you attempt to steal from the sick, the system will catch you, and the government will prosecute you. That is the new order of the day. If you steal from our sick, the system will catch you, and the government of President Ruto will prosecute you. We have further secured, Honorable Speaker, digital sovereignty through our collaboration with the United States government through the data sharing agreement, which I have shared with Parliament. I am ready to defend it. That data sharing agreement, Honorable Speaker, is solid. It's done by our lawyers, and it even says where the laws of the two countries contradict, the Kenyan law supersedes. The people who have gone to court are the civil society and the NGOs who used to eat this money historical. It is not us. The Kenyan patient, the Kenyan patient, the HIV patient, the malaria patient is important. No system we have can function without hands that heal. And I want to thank this House for approving the budget that has stabilized our workforce. The first day I went to Afia House, I was welcomed by UHC staff demonstrating and doctors. This House has really helped me in approving a budget that has stabilized the workforce. Today we have posted our interns, we have transitioned our UHC staff to SRC rates, and by June this year, in the Division of Revenue Bill, we will transfer the whole resources to the equitable share so that our counties can now absorb them as permanent and pensionable. Honorable Speaker, I must speak especially about community heroes, community helpers, or tools. Today, they served with heart that they lacked the recognition. That changed in September of 2022, when Kenya took a bold step at a national event presided over by President Ruto. The government formally recognized and engaged 107 frontline community health promoters. These frontline workers, they are no longer volunteers, they are paid, they are equipped, and they are digitized. And come July, all the 107,000 will enjoy the social health insurance premium cover paid by chain for health products and technologies. We are reforming KEMSA into a very agile, transparent logistic entity that uses digital tracking to ensure the last mile of delivery of our medicines. We must ensure that a mother in a remote village has access to some life-saving drugs as a patient in the National Referral Hospital. Madam Speaker, if you allow me, we have introduced, I think, yesterday. We picked a pattern. The system has picked a pattern where 50,000 patients in a county referral hospital go through the compound is surrounded by a myriad of chemists and pharmacists. A myriad of chemists and pharmacists. Go to Kisii Referral Hospital. Even go to Garissa County Referral Hospital. GH. I was there this weekend and I was asking, why are there so many cases? If the patient does not, because the system will know, if you don't dispense medicine to a patient, then SHA will not pay for any medicine you claim. Since SHA started, about 946,000 women have delivered through the SHA system. As a country, annually we are about 1.5. The Director of Medical Services is here. And when we look at those 900 and plus women who delivered either through C-section or normal delivery, we have their names, we have their ID card numbers, we have their telephone numbers, we know their county, we know their constituency, we know the facility. That is how robust this digital system is. So to kill the story that there is no medicine in our health facilities, now, if you don't give a Kenyan medicine and you claim for it, then SHA will not pay you. Then what will you be forced? You'll be forced to give the Kenyan. And the Kenyan will know from the charter he was supposed to get medicine for free, particularly under PhD. So KEMSA, as of today, the reforms we have done, KEMSA has a refill rate of 91. April, they had only, in every 10 drugs required, in April of last year, KEMSA had only 5. Today, in every 10 essential drugs that you ask KEMSA, they will give you 9. And we want to take it to 10. And we want KEMSA to buy from the manufacturer so that we reduce the price of drug. The cost of care in our country, healthcare, is very expensive, members. You must interrogate that. In a number of parliaments, 11th, 10th parliament, that discussion used to come. Why do we have one doctor charging you consultancy fee of 10,000 or 8,000, and you have another doctor charging you 2,000? There must be a standard. There is a standard among lawyers. There is a standard among engineers. There is a standard fee that architects can charge you. We must have, and I am sure I can see Professor Golicha looking at me, but sometimes we have to say it the way it is. We have to say it because we are defending the Kenyan patient. Honorable Speaker, just to highlight, because it's a matter before court, the importance of the U.S. government-Kenya health collaboration. This partnership provides over $300 million annually in support of our HIV, malaria, and TB programs. As we move towards the sunset of some of this international support, and I want to thank this House, Kenya was the only country that was allowed to come and sign in State Department. We were the first country to sign globally. And we are the first country that were allowed to sign in Washington, D.C. And that's how important Kenya is a leader in the healthcare. And many countries want to learn the universal health coverage and SHA from us. And most of it is because of the lost 120 county facilities, 0.1 billion, which the government has not paid for, is fee for service. You go to a hospital, go through a CT scan, that CT scan, SHA pay part to the hospital and part it will pay. You will find a private wing. Today, the number of referrals, very few Kenyans are referred to Kenyatta Hospital or Kenyatta University or MTRH or Jaramogi, because all our county hospitals now, majority of them have the latest equipment, dialysis machines, CT scans, mammograph. You'll find them in all our, reducing the burden. Kenyans used to die on the road. So when we talk about healthcare transformation, with the support of our members. UHC is about ensuring that the quality of care received by a president is the same quality of care available to a peasant. To achieve this, we have entered into a strategic collaboration that are already bearing fruit. And I really want to ask my sisters who are in this room to listen to me. When I became the minister, that drug now is sold at 40,000. And that's why SHA is paying for the full treatment for our sisters and mothers who battle breast cancer. That drug cost was very prohibitive, and it was forcing families to hold fundraising or forgo treatment. Now under SHA, it's accessible at zero additional cost to the patient. We have also formalized our collaboration with Aga Khan University. I did a partnership with Aga Khan to allow SHA beneficiaries to access the specialized service like kidney transplant. You know what happened in Eldoret? And Honorable Speaker, I really want to indulge you today. An audit was done on what Medihill did in Eldoret. The way kidneys were harvested, the way foreigners were brought into our country. A good report was done. Illegally young people, without regard to safety and ethics that comes with it. So today a Kenyan of any status can walk to Aga Khan as long as he has a donor. Kidney transplant will be done at the cost of SHA, 1.2 million shilling paid for, pre and post. Aga Khan used to be a hospital of the rich. Today, if you go there under SHA, at the dialysis center, you'll find in Nairobi Hospital, Nairobi West, in Kenyatta, you'll find all that. There are many people who say SHA is not working. If it's not working, then how come 29 million people have registered? There are some of the people who are saying it's not working. They are very sad because their county is number 2 or number 3 in SHA registration. For example, Nyeri is number 3. Number 1 is Mombasa. Let's clap for Mombasa. Number 2 is Bomet. Number 3 is Nyeri. Number 4 is Kirinyaga. I can continue. But for our colleagues like me, who come from the Asal, if I start naming the bottom, that is where we are, including my own county. And I have to say it. But we must clap for the counties. Elgeyo Marakwet, Kericho, among the top. Lamu, among the top. As small as it is. Honorable Speaker, we have also have an agreement with Nairobi Hospital, a historic collaboration for kidney transplant at SHA rate. Honorable Speaker, these collaborations translate to one simple reality. We are demonizing the walls between the rich man's hospital and the poor man's hospital. Under Shah, every Kenyan has a seat at the table of quality health care. Honorable Speaker, I now want to speak to key moral imperative. And I want our sisters to listen to me. And this is the health of our mothers and children. Every woman, every newborn, everywhere, agenda. And our rapid result initiative that we carried as a ministry last month showed that 26 of our counties have drastically reduced their maternal mortality rate and newborn child death. But we have 25 counties which are in the red. We are trying to make sure that those 25 counties, we have an engagement with them at the level of the presidency and the Council of Governors, and no mother, Honorable Speaker, no mother should die while bringing. We are not doing very well. We're losing a lot of mothers in our facilities. And I want us to clap for the people from the former Central Kenya. Can you clap for them? The maternal mortality and new child born rates are very minimal. Those of us who come from Eastern, Western, Pastoralist, Nyanza, Coast, we have some work to do. And I am ready to lead from the front. I'll work with the leaders. That we are losing more mothers in those regions than any other part. Honorable Speaker, let me talk about the Kenyatta National Hospital. One of our world-class milestone. When I founded Kenyatta, and I'm happy to report today, the chairman of the Kenyatta National Hospital, the former Secretary General of Kenya Red Cross, through his corporate network, today we are refurbishing 9 wards in Kenyatta at a cost of 270 million, paid for by the corporates, banks. He went to Equity, he went to KCB, he went to many other organizations, and today they are refurbishing at a cost. Today, Kenyatta National Hospital has established the state-of-the-art HLA lab for organ transplant matching, ending our reliance on expensive foreign laboratories. We are not sending now tests to South Africa or to the CDC Atlanta. Kenyatta National Hospital is doing a lot to our community. Record-breaking surgeries you watch in the news every day. Beyond our borders, we want to position Kenya as a leader in global health security. And we have formed the Kenya National Public Health Institute. We have expanded our laboratories and our emergency operations centers. We want to build a resilient system that can detect and respond to pandemics long before they reach our doorsteps. However, Honorable Speaker, these gains remain fragile without a very strong intergovernmental synergy. And I want to urge the National Assembly to ensure that health remains a whole of government priority. Health security is inseparable from the work of the Ministry of Interior, ICT, Education, National Treasury, and many others. Honorable Speaker, let me come now to the legislative agenda as I conclude. We laid the foundation and we have secured the standard of care. And I wish to bring to your attention that there is a bill before the House called the Quality of Health Care and Patient Safety Bill 2025. This bill is critical bill is already before the House. It went through first reading on the 14th of August 2025 and has been committed to our Departmental Committee on Health. This bill will guarantee the safety for every Kenyan patient. It establishes legal framework to ensure that the care paid for by SHA is care that cures, not care that harms. And I want to give an example. When there are two mothers, pregnant mothers sharing a bed, that is not care. Do we agree? When we have a mother or a patient, even male, on the floor of a hospital, that is not care. Particularly in a cold place like Nyandarua. Do you know, have you asked yourself why there are no more Kenyans sharing beds? Do you know what we have done in the system? Every hospital, in their license, they have their bed capacity. So if your hospital has 50, we will not allow you to admit more than 50. Two, in the old NHIF, the two mothers who are sharing the bed and the one on the floor, both the three of them were paid by NHIF. So they were making money. Now we have said, and we watch the bed occupancy. If I had the Digital Health Agency CEO, we could have shown you, a good example, Kenyatta Hospital. Kenyatta Hospital ideally is supposed to have a bed occupancy of 1,800. But Kenyatta was admitting 2,200, extra 400. Today, if you go to Kenyatta, you will not find two mothers sharing a bed. But what I am doing is the system and administrative. I really want you to do that in legislation. We define care in that bill. A care of a patient, the dignity of the patient, the safety of the patient, the ethical standards of the patient are all defined in that bill. I really want to ask Honorable Speaker and members and our committee to fast track that bill in the first quarter of this year. It will really help us help our patients. Then we have a number of other bills that are in Parliament. The Health Act Amendment, the Public Health Act, the Tobacco Control Act, the Cancer Prevention and Control Act, the Food, Drugs and Chemical Substance Act, the Pharmacy. All these are amendments. They will really help us if they are fast-tracked. Honorable Speaker, finally, to sustain this momentum, we require your budgetary support to clear the pending claims and ensure that seamless operations of free primary health care. We urgently require, we have already told the National Treasury, they have committed to us, but the Leader of Majority and the Chair of Budget can help us, them to release the 5.9 exchequer release so that we can pay facilities for the month of October, November, and December in the primary health care, in the dispensaries, and in the health centers. But they have said they will pay before the end of this week. We also wanted the projection deficit of the PHC, and the Chair of Budget is aware, is about 11.9 billion, and we want it to be factored in. Between now and June, we want it to be factored in the supplementary budget. When we were looking at the maternity package, we realized the people who design SHA and UHC, they have left a very component. There are places where our mothers deliver in health centers. They deliver even in dispensaries. And sub-county or level 4 hospitals are very far from them. And after that discussion, and we did a paper, the summit chaired by the President, the Council of Governors, we have agreed now our mothers, because we want to reduce the maternal mortality, maternal and child mortality rate, we have asked now to be given more resources of 2 billion so that our mothers can now deliver in health centers and in some dispensaries in some of our constituencies. Honorable Speaker, and this is just to save our mothers and our newborns. Honorable Speaker, I come with the very senior members of my ministry. If you allow me, PS Oluga is busy chairing. I left him in Nairobi to chair another workshop. I have PS Mary Mudoni of public health and professional standards. I have the first Director General under the new Constitution of Health, Dr. Amoth. Dr. Masi Mwangangi, CEO, SHA. One of my directors from KEMSA, operations. And then Terry Rotich, who's the head of legal in SHA. I think those are the ones. Yeah, I have another team, the gentleman at the far end, the two gentlemen are two directors with Social Health Authority. Honorable Speaker, just to conclude, the state of our health care in our country is transforming. We have moved from a deficit-ridden NHIF to a more surplus-generating SHA. We have moved from a paper files to digital superhighway. We have moved from volunteers to paid community health promoters. This transition is unprecedented. It is working. It's what President Ruto and his administration have promised, and I request your continued support as we anchor these gains in law and practice. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and members. God bless you, and I'm ready to answer. Just to, in case members have issues with the headline of today, on the headline, the 11 billion are the rejections I have told you. Those are money lost in the sense that they have claimed, we have found them, they are remitting, some of them are going to court, some of them have agreed to return back our money, and we have not finished. We have, I don't want to, you know, there are some things that belong to the criminal justice system. I don't want to speak for. I have the whole list. The biggest junk is the private hospitals, followed by the county hospitals, followed by the National Referral Hospital, including Kenyatta, MTRH. The lowest is with the faith-based hospitals. We have the names we can publish. There are rejections. They claimed for services they have not offered. And they have done all that I was telling you. And I am sure that many people, including those who are criticizing me, some of them, this morning they sent me a text message and they said those people must be prosecuted and they must return the money. You cannot eat the money that belongs to a patient in Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Waziri. Honorable members, you've heard the minister is with his team, Rachel. We're doing 10-10. Yes, yeah? Oh, Dr. Nyikal first. Lower your hands. We promise to give Dr. Nyikal 3 minutes.
Nyikal, just 1 minute. Honorable members, for those who walked in and out, let us first of all give a round of applause to the Honorable Duale. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Duale has done very well. In terms of making a presentation, we can tell when a presentation is good. And we are so proud that he is from this house. And it makes a difference when someone who has the experience that is required gives such a presentation. We appreciate. He has taken us through the journey that the transformation. He has given us the role, the pivotal role of Parliament in legislation and way forward and what assistance that he needs. He has given us a comparison of what happened in NHIF and what is happening in SHA, including the numbers, including registration, the depth, including the amount of money that is being paid in and out, the role of national government and the counties in health, and the complications therein and what support that he needs. Honorable Speaker, he has also given us assurance that it is not about your economic power that will make a decision on your access to health. These are the kind of presentations, Honorable Speaker, that we want. Mr. Speaker, he has given us this House assurance that we are not going to export our patients and also export our money. The measures he has put in place, we like that. Thank you. And now I'm going to give a chance to Dr. Nyikal. Welcome, Dr. Nyikal.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, let me first of all appreciate the Cabinet Secretary for the presentation. I'll not say much because this today is the presentation of the Cabinet Secretary to the House. So the members will deal with that. Most of the issues he has raised, we have actually discussed with him in the committee. We have had interactions, some of which you have seen on TV, and these are the results. They just I'll just make very few comments. One, there are some issues he has raised that we'll still have to look up with them as a committee. So I don't expect to say much on them. We'll have opportunity as a committee to call the team and have that. But the only ones I want to say that are really important is the issue of registration and payment of premium, which is a gap of 29 million and 4 million. It has issues. The issue of county and national government coordination, and that is what affecting KEMSA not getting drugs there because drugs are being bought at the county and they are not paying KEMSA. So that is something we will discuss with them. The issue of primary care fund, which we actually gave this time, and that has to be used at the county level, in level 2 and level 3, where he actually we agreed as a committee that women do deliver there, they should be paid. So we look at that. Then the issue of human resource transition, the one of NHIF to SHA, is again something we'll sit down and look at. The issue of UHC staff and interns and global fund, I must congratulate the budget committee, Chair Tandi. As a committee, we managed to put some money there, and for the primary care, we are also going to put money so that women can deliver in level 2 and 3. And the other issue of the bills, those ones we are actually taking on. We have those bills, some we're already looking at. But the biggest one I want to talk about is the benefit package and the cost of care. We have a benefit package in the country, but we don't have a cost of care. So how can you have a package if you do not know its cost? So I know they're working on that. They have put up a team. We'll work with them to have the cost of care so that one surgery has a cost wherever you go. And I think when we do that, we should be able to get more done. It is this day today and members of the assembly, so I'll leave it there because we'll also be taking some notes on what the members say that needs to be done that we can follow up with him. Thank you, members. Rachel, take the first 10.
The Honorable Shabir, the Honorable Mother Wangari, number 2, the Honorable Elemengit, can I just do this side? Okay. The Honorable Makali Mulu, the Honorable Member for Kinangop. We wanted 10 here, 10 here, 10. Is that okay? The Honorable Member for Kitui Rural, and that one is the nominated member UDA. How many are those? I started with Shakil. I went to Wangari. I went to Makali Mulu. I went to the member for Kinangop. I went to the member for Kitui Rural. I went to Modoni and Charles CNN. How many others? We can get another 3 here. We can start with the nominated member. Can we go to this member? Odipo. And the 10th one, the member for Nairobi. 10, Honorable Speaker. So when we start again, we'll come this way and then that way.
Okay, number 1.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Bwanandwale Waziri, we have known each other to 2007, and I've had a great faith in what you do, and what you said today, you have convinced me. Mr. Speaker, I want to stand testament today. I put nearly 10 million in NHIF last year. That was lost, but my constant, and Waziri, thank you, and Mercy, thank you. We went and recouped 2.4 million. And that money, sir, is now giving 2,300 applicants, indigenous, for 2 months, SHA. Next week, I promised her I'm coming with 6 million. Now, Mr. Chair, Bwana Speaker, I don't have to say this, but I have been diagnosed with a little bit of cancer. So when I went to do my PET scan, I gave my insurance card. They said, no, SHA will pay. I said, they will never pay. SHA paid. The other day I went
with the relevant party organs, and when the party is in One, 3, and 11 of the Constitution of the party, and informed by our center-right democratic ideology that the Democratic Party acts and discharges its responsibilities to the people of Kenya. Conviction. We did not come together because we agree on everything. We came together because Kenya is bigger than any party, any leader, or any ambition. As a united opposition, we also came together because the reality facing Kenyans is harsh and undeniable. For example, the households. Public debt has mortgaged our children's future, has been normalized, has gone through the roof. The Constitution is a sustained assault by this regime of William Ruto. Independent institutions are being hollowed out. The promise of dignity through and despair. The CFO that it is untenable that a fragmented opposition would be a betrayal of the Kenyan people. Unity is therefore not optional. It is a patriotic duty. As a former attorney, I speak today with deep concern. The Constitution, it is actually being manipulated by William Ruto, circumvented and undermined. We are witnessing executive overreach. Of course, been reduced to an echo chamber and open contempt. This is not governance. Aggression. The Democratic Party moment when Kenya work no longer guarantees dignity. Wages no longer guarantee survival. Future in honest labor. Instead, they see precarious jobs, overtaxation, a shrinking productive economy, borrowing rather than building. The Democratic Party believes in a productive economy, not a punitive one. Industrial revival, not and the social protection that works, not one that is geared towards public relations, as we've seen in the last 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, let me frankly, sitting here and I will definitely unite and give Kenya one president. We must put the welfare of the Kenyan people above individual ambition. However, let us not be naive. The forces of impunity and corruption networks now ravaging our country are also at work. They will attempt to weaken this unity. They will sponsor detractors, as you well know, they are trying to do even before this NDC, as indeed they were at work trying to look for a person that could compete with me for the position of party leader. They will, let me also make it very clear and unequivocal. Whoever among us chooses that path of being bought by the detractors, he becomes an enemy of the Kenyan people. Such a person does not serve democracy. Against the hopes of this nation. Kenya must never again our unity in the opposition must not only oppose, but must also propose. The opposition must offer Kenya a credible economic alternative, a government that listens, leadership that is accountable, and politics anchored in ideas, not ethnic arithmetic. This is why the party will play its role thoughtfully, firmly, without ego, and without shortcuts. Dear delegates, you are the custodians of this party's soul. Your duty is to strengthen do not lose faith. As has been witnessed in recent past. Do not retreat. Do not be silenced. Ideas will rise again. Kenya is not broken beyond repair. Truth, kind of courage, and unity to heal. The Democratic Party stands ready to play its part. I want to assure you, the united opposition stands firm. The people of Kenya are awake. History will judge us not by what we said, but by whether we rose when the nation needed us most. Let us rise. God bless the party, Democratic Party of Kenya. God bless the united opposition, and God bless the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Gentleman, I know I've taken some little bit of time, but I wanted to make it absolutely clear. Allow me, if my sister and brothers would agree, oh gosh, because of the other appointment. I don't know whether would you want, first of all, to all of us? Can we start? Yeah. Let me welcome our brothers.
There's something in the party. Just inform me.
So also present here, let me recognize them, the Honorable ya watu wa sinema, watu wa picha. Muziki utagoja baadaye wakati hujafika. Let me also please in a special way recognize my old friend, the Honorable not doctor, he never became a doctor, Ben Momanyi, the immediate member of parliament for Secretary Legal, Wiper Patriotic Front. And also just behind him, for the benefit of the DP delegates, let me introduce to you my candidate of the Democratic Party, Albert Mushira Kigoro. Thank you very much. Let me invite my colleagues, my brothers, friends. I start with this one next to me, my good friend Omingo Magara. 2 minutes. DP! Omingo Magara is my name. Pledge number 1, I belong to the United Opposition. Full stop. There's no comma. Number 2, this is where the country is headed to. If you're not here, lako halipo. Number 3, we have a problem in this country. If the government of the day that is so confident of winning an election can actually say, Honorable LG has grown, not getting worried, because then Rigiji could be stronger. Today in the today's newspaper, and being an appendage of the State House, they cannot summon the organs to account for it. We must finalize this, and the solution to Kenya is this team ahead of you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
DP. May I begin by congratulating my brother, the Honorable J.B. Muturi, on his election as the party leader and flag bearer for presidential elections. DP, munajua nilianza DP. I can see you are carrying on the democratic tradition of actually holding competitive elections. Muendelee hivyo hivyo. Kwa kifupi sana, we are in the united opposition because we all agree to the one-term movement to remove the pain of Kasongo, which is on every household. Na tumesema lazima tujipende kama Wakenya. We must agree to one candidate for the presidential and all other consequential seats, ndivyo tuondoe hii serikali ya uongo, ya Kasongo na uongo. Leo hatutasema mengi sababu tunaenda kwa appointment ingine. Tulikuwa hapa tu muelewe tuko pamoja as united opposition with one common purpose, kuleta uongozi bora katika nchi yetu. Kuleta uongozi wa mwongozo ya kisheria na sio mwongozo wa mtu binafsi na vile fikra zake ziko. The manual for operating the Republic of Kenya is the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Asanteni sana. Huyu ni kiongozi wa People's Liberation Party. Mahali tunasema unite, liberate. Ndivyo tupate umoja na haki. We have to unite to liberate Kenya. Asanteni.
DP Thomas, one term. Congratulations to our brother JB. Leader, whom I have the honor to serve as his vice president, and he is greatly displayed before us, the late Honorable Mwai Kibaki. As we move ahead, we want to make it very clear, that we shall hold together. We hold no grudge against anyone, but we hold grudge against corruption, misrule, impunity. What happened in Othaya is domestic terrorism. And we are taking legal action to do private prosecution of those individuals who have been identified as perpetrators. Because we realize if we don't, Kasongo will continue to take this country for granted. Number two, we notice the Kenyans are not going to take this lying down as a starting point for that prosecution. We will serve that complaint, and after that complaint, we will take action. Thirdly, I see the movement is alert. We are going to call for one forum for all the one-term movement candidates everywhere in the country. Because that is how we are now also going to bolster our voter registration number. We're dealing with a pariah nation. May God bless DP. May God bless our brother JB for standing so strong and able. And may God bless Kenya. Amen.
DP. Wana DP hamjambo. Kumpongeza ndugu yetu JB Muturi na wenzake viongozi wa chama cha hayati Mwai Kibaki kuchaguliwa kuongoza cha kihistoria. Makofi kwenu jamani. Tulikuwa hapa juzi tukimpongeza Mheshimiwa Martha Karua na PLP kimchagua yeye kuwa kiongozi na mbeba bendera wa PLP kwa kinyang'anyiro cha urais. Leo tunafurahi pa historia kuona ndugu yetu JB akipewa ile tochi ya uongozi wa chama, naye sio tu urais. Kweli si kweli? Mmempa hiyo idhini? Wangapi wamesema ya kwamba nafikiri yeye amekuwa nambari 5 sasa kwa muungano wetu wa upinzani kupewa. Nilitunukiwa heshima hiyo na chama hiyo nafasi. Bikarua alikuwa mbili katika hapa ufungamano. Ndugu yetu Kalonzo Musyoka akapewa bendera na Wiper Patriotic Front. Fred Matiang'i amepewa bendera na chama. Leo tuna furaha kupata the 5th leader and flag bearer kwa muungano wetu, anaitwa JB Muturi. Sasa tunangoja ya wa Nyoro mwenyewe pamoja, lakini pia tumweleze ndugu JB ya kwamba sisi one term na tutaungana tukia, sisi sote tutakuwa nyuma yake. Tukisema ni Kalonzo ama Karua ama Rigiji ama Matiang'i ama simama nyuma yake. Mtatunga mkono jamani? So leo tunataka tuambie msiwe na wasiwasi, umoja huu vile DP mnasema umoja na haki, it's an imperative. Kama tunamtoa Kasongo one term, lazima tuungane hadi mwisho na tutoe mmoja wetu. So huo ndio ujumbe tunaleta hapa siku ya leo. Lakini pia mwisho tukisema the Democratic Party has been that light. Vile alama yenu ni taa. Hii ndio imekuwa taa ya demokrasia ya Kenya tangu nyakati ya Kibaki akipigania uhuru wa pili. But today as we speak, our democracy is in utter peril because of violence, because of hooliganism, because of goonism. We have a government that has gone into bed with goons. A government is supposed to be for the people. But when you have a government going into bed with goons, you no longer, you have a goonverment. Na hiyo ndio watu wameumiza ndugu yetu Rigiji. And we are today demanding ya kwamba this must stop. There can't be democracy where there is kitoka hapa naelekea IEBC. Tuko na referee elections. We are marching there from here to demand that certain things na hatuna wasiwasi ya kwamba tutaushinda na vile tumeungana. Mtatuunga mkono jamani? Asante, Mungu awabariki.
On behalf of Jubilee, my brother and my friend, the Honorable Justin, for his election this afternoon as a party leader of Jubilee. Because we are all under pressure of time. Number one, my brothers and sisters, democracy is in danger, not just here but in the region. The jokes we have witnessed in the region recently, as for elections, very dangerous jokes, are threatening to spill over to parts of our country. We want to borrow from those very dangerous jokes. Kenyans, this is the time to stand firm in defense of democracy. Number one. Number two, before, anyone who's betting for our differences, you will lose your bet. You will lose your bet. We are going to stand together and we are going to remain united. Our ambitions, our individual interests, pale completely under and unimaginable possibility of the continuation take that money to schools so that we have parents and our children. That is the future of our country. That's what reasonable people do. That is how Singapore became Singapore. God bless you.
DP moja na haki. I'm happy today. You know, I was there with mother during the foundation of DP, member number 11, life member then, by now founder of the bus and in the bus. So I bring congratulatory message to my brother JB for party leader. The congregation here, because you have made several decisions for this party. Mine will be very brief because we are going to another meeting. I was very dismayed when we were doing the politics for the member of party. For the first time in history, I saw Fifaru Naame in combat gear in Chicago to count votes. Na vifaru tukafukuzwa. Nobody counted, but it was announced. I will say no more. Now, when it comes last week in church, naona watoto wanalia kwa tianga, naona watu na bunduki wanapiga magari bunduki risasi. Not enough. We know what is happening to our education, crumbling. God help us. We must unite. Right. Mnakubaliana DP, watu ya DP mnasemaje? To congratulate my brother and elder, Justin B. elected as party leader of Jubilee, I'm very proud to be associated with the DP for 3 reasons. All of us started with the DP and we are all one term, and we are happy to have joined DP in Mbere for the by-election, uchaguzi ambaye tulishida tukaibiwa. We are here to say the people of Kenya are telling me, and I believe they are telling all of you, they don't know who will be president, but they know who will not be. Watu wa Kenya wameamua ni nani hata kuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Hawajui ni nani. Wametuambia sisi yote tutoe mtu hapo ndio mnataka hata nyinyi. I want to give my commitment and that of DCP that we shall make whatever sacrifices necessary to have one presidential candidate to make William Ruto one term. As we speak here about on the occasion of this occasion, Kasongo and Soprano were in Odaya. Emulate Mwai Kibaki. But the first thing Kasongo has done is to destroy the legacy of Mwai Kibaki of Number 2, ameenda Udhaya kwa ACK Kariki Church. Next weekend amekari na wahuni in the same Udhaya in Wetima to beat women and children. Hiyo wewe unasema ati unaheshimu Mwai Kibaki. Umeenda Udhaya, umekaribishwa vizuri, a few days umetumana kanisani akina mama na watoto kupigwa. It's a shame. Sindio? Now I will be telling the people of Kenya that to attack, we now have the details. It was an assassination sanctioned by William Ruto and executed by Murkomen. We'll be giving full details in the next few days so that Kenyans. And I want to tell the people of Udhaya, mlikuwa ngoja kwa hiyo mkutano, tutarudi huko na hao, because we can't. Finally, don't be worried. The Kenyan population is one term. Viongozi ndio wanaradada kutafuta pesa kwa Kasongo. But wananchi wako sawa, si ndio? The wananchi are okay. Kasongo alienda hapo Nyeri akaita mkutano ya watu 18,000. Akawapatia kila mtu 5,000. That is 90 million. Wakanipigia simu. Kasema Rigiji, ulituambia hii pesa tusipeleke nyumbani, inaweza kutuletea madhara. Panga mkutano Karatina, tutumie hii pesa kuleta watu kwa hiyo mkutano. So I got a meeting, they paid fare for everybody and lunch. I addressed a meeting of 30,000. That is why they were annoyed, wakasimamisha mkutano ya Udhaya and Kiawara. That will continue. So don't be worried. There was a narrative in the beginning of the year to watu wanatoka United Opposition, sijui wanatoka DCP wanaenda kwa Kasongo. Hakuna mtu anatoka DCP ama United Opposition. Those were moles and spies of Kasongo in our party. We have removed them. Wamerudi pahali walitoka. Kwa hivyo, there is a transfer window. In the next 2 months, wale wasaliti wote na spies na moles ya Kasongo tutawatoa. Alikuwa kwangu, tukamtoa. Intelligence. Tukifukuza moja tumejua ni mtu ya Kasongo, kubali ya kuja kwako, wacha arudi kwa Kasongo. Siko namna hiyo. So thank you very much what your DP to pamoja. I want to assure you we'll work together. As we are all committed, we'll have one presidential candidate to face William Ruto to make sure he is one term, so that we restore the dignity of the payslip and we restore the Kenyan nation. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, DP delegates wa DP situation, na kwa sababu tulikuwa tumeomba, and we want to appreciate and for allowing us to interrupt your process. As you can see, there has not been any interference with what you are doing. So thank you very much, my colleagues in the Democratic Party. Over to you, MC.
Oh, asante sana. Hello? Hello people, we are back. The microphone sounds a bit loud. Tuko sawa? Tuko
si ndio? Tuone kama tuko sawa. DP! Tuseme na nguvu. DP! DP! Karibu Mr. Juma.
Lazima tupangane. Mavo waimbe saa hii.
Nafikiri tutaendelea na election.
Panaitwa Makengi na Mbule. Hivyo sasa huyu Pidon usipokurudishia utajichagua na hiyo. Sasa uko na kura mbili tayari, yako na ya mwenye hiyo kitambulisho, si ndio? Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro na pia Mheshimiwa Mkonji, tumekuwa hapa kuanzia asubuhi tukiwa tumealikwa katika mwito wa vijana uongozini. All these are young aspirants, na wakati walikuwa wanataja majina ilishtua sana kuona pia tuko na vijana wamefika hapa siku ya leo kutoka Nairobi. Wapi makofi yao? Ikashtua sana kuona pia tuko na vijana wametoka hapa kwa hii forum kutoka Murang'a kwako. Wapi makofi yao? Ikapendeza zaidi kuona pia kuna vijana wametoka Kirinyaga, wametoka Tharaka Nithi, wametoka Meru, wametoka Nyandarua, na pia kuna aspirant hapa ametoka Nyamira. Wapi makofi yao? Na wakati walikuwa wanaongea na wakitaja majina, hawa vijana walisema wanakuangoja sana ili muweze kuachanua as we head on to 2027, kwa sababu nyinyi ni vijana wandogo. Tumeona huyu Mkonji akifanya kazi, tumeona ukifanya kazi, tukaona pia ukifutwa. Sasa hiyo mambo yote, hata wakati wewe umefutwa hatujaona hata ukiruhusu hope. Unasikia? Hivyo tumefurahi. Wapi makofi yao? Na mimi wacha before I invite huyu kiongozi mwingine hapa ili atuitie the political parties before we now waseme mambo kidogo then we invite you. Mimi hata nilikuwa nimepanga kushika ile mti inashikwa. Kushika mti. Na sio kwa sababu ya shinda ili Ndindi Nyoro wakunja manya. Sasa jana nikaambiwa nilikuwa nianze kushika leo. Sasa jana nikauliza huyu Mkonji, kwani huyu Ndindi Nyoro atakunja huku lini? Sasa akaniambia nilishike, nikikuja mbona niseme mbele ya hii watu utajua vile utanifanya. Sasa kwa sababu mtu ya Mungu ni kujiongea, na tumeona wale wengine wakishika miti, waheshimiwa wao wanaenda hapo wanawapanga. Sasa hiki si unionee huruma. Anionee huruma. Anionee huruma. Anifanya kakitu. Sasa si unakaa sana Ndindi. Hii maneno zini haraka haraka. Hii maneno zini haraka haraka. Allow me to know. Allow me to know, invite my good friend ili atuitie the political parties. Tumesema ni 4 minutes so that we proceed. Karibu sana.
Asante. Wapi makofi au kiongozi? Mimi yangu tulikubaliana ikuji namna hiyo. Makofi ya MC angusha. Ya pili angusha. Zindikisha yeye. Malizia. Very nice. All right. For the interest of time, our chief guest, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, Honorable Gitonga Mkonji, Member of Parliament Manyata, karibuni sana. We are privileged for you gracing this wonderful event. The next session is for political parties. Since we decided that this particular event will be a bit apolitical. Nimesema a bit apolitical. And Mheshimiwa Mkonji, hii rangi nimevaa si ya ile chama unadhani. Nilichagua nguo kukiwa na giza. Asubuhi, mapema. So, bado niko ile mrengo ingine. So, like for the interest of time so that we can know who is represented and who is not represented, I'd like to mention the various political parties that we had anticipated to be in attendance. I know DCP party is well represented. Tuko na DP party. Then we have Jubilee party. We have a representative of Jubilee party. If you can just raise your hand so that tukiendelea. Asante sana. Karibu. Tepa. Asante. We have a Wiper Patriotic Front. The gentleman is here. Karibu sana. Safina party. Tuko na ile chama ya kule hii ya nini? Ya naitwa namna gani? Youth leader, ODM. Iko mtu wa hiyo mrengo. Right. So so that we can move within the theme, today we had agreed ya kwamba leo sio siku ya slogans, leo ni siku ya agenda. Kwa hivyo usikuja hapa kusema sijui watu hawana sijui nini, watu hatuta hawana nini. Si tuko hapa kama vijana. Hello. Sasa ukikuja hapa, the first thing that we expect for you to maybe touch on is the place of the youth, especially when you talk about the youth tickets, the place of young people in your party. What measures you have there to ensure that your nominations are, free and fair? Do you have any considerations for young people that might be financially incapacitated? So those are some of the areas that we would like you to touch on. Kitu ya pili ni mambo ya the party ideology. You can, give us the party ideology. What do you stand for as a party? Isikuwe ni misemo tuko. And as we agreed, we are not leaders of. Sisi ni viongozi wa leo. Ama nyinyi mtangoja kesho. Hii kesho tukingoja kama watu wa 90 years tunaona bado si tutangoja sana. Okay, so that is it. And I'd like to give you a small story. Once upon a time, there was a lady. Alipata mama yake anapikanga samaki yakuwa imeikatanisha mara ngapi? Mimi nataka tutembee tu pamoja mara. So ule mama kikaanga ile samaki alikuwa anakata mara mbili. So akauliza mama yake. Sasa the daughter akamuuliza, "Mam, kwa nini wewe ukipika samaki unaikatanisha mara mbili?" Akamwambia, "Nilipata mama yangu akikata samaki mara ngapi? Kila time akiweka kwa sufuria anakata mara mbili." Akamwambia, "Sasa wewe enda ulize shosho." Akaenda kauliza shosho. And this is for the aspirants. Nitaland. Uliza shosho. Shosho, kwa nini hii samaki yako unakatanishanga mara mbili? Shosho akamwambia, "Mimi nakatanishanga samaki mara mbili kwa sababu sufuria yangu ni ndogo." Now, that analogy, it tells you something. One, never inherit enemies. Ukipata mtu anachukia sijui mheshimiwa Mukunji, mwingine anachukia mheshimiwa Ndindi, mwingine anachukia mheshimiwa Simba, sijui anachukia Python. Hiyo jina yako ni Python ama ni Python? Unajua Python ni nyoka. Ni Python. Kuna mtu lisikia akisema Python. Nikashangaa. Najua huko Embu tuko na majina ya ajabu, lisikia Kiora, Joka. So, don't inherit enemies. That is number one. Number two, fanya mambo yako after doing thorough research. Ukiona mtu anamwaga pesa huko, usiende kuuza shamba ukuje kumwaga pesa huko. Wewe ongea na wananchi polepole, kama uko na ideology watakusikiza. Angushie hiyo karugano. Very nice. Now, we go direct. For Jubilee Party, I'd like to invite Sakawa Obengi. Na kabla akuje, just a small history. He's the chair, Youth Aspirants Caucus, Jubilee Party, and the coordinator for aspirants nationally. He's a former public communications officer, Office of the Speaker, Senate, and he's also a co-founder of the Green Touch organization. It's an environment youth education based movement. So Bwana Sakawa, karibu sana, so that and you give these people a piece of that cake. Now kindly, I'm requesting, let us move fast because we have only 5 minutes for each speaker. All right. So for the interest of time, kwa sababu si mimi nishawafanyia introduction. Sasa wao si nikukuja tu. Sasa nikishakupatia introduction, wewe kuja anza kujipanga tukienda next. For Wiper Patriotic Front, we have Mr. Murioki Ndwega. He's the Deputy National Organizing Secretary. He's Emeritus National Youth Leader. And he is a governance and leadership expert. So Mr. Murioki, karibu on the floor, and Saka, karibu on the floor, so that now, after this introduction, tunaenda tu in that order, tukimaliza for the interest of time, and let us be brief and precise. For Bus Party, we have our very own Nicholas Kasanga. He is the founder, EXO Movement, which is the Embu County Campus Student Organization. He is the Vice Chair, Board of Management, St. Charles Luanga Secondary School. He is the Deputy Executive Director as well for the Bus Party. Karibu, Bwana Kasanga, Mr. Murioki, karibu, so that we move together. The SG Tepa, Generali, JM, karibu sana. You'll have something. I don't know whether Wanjiku Dhiga is here. She's? All right, Wanjiku Dhiga. She's from the Democracy for Citizen, DCP party, and she's the National Youth Leader, DCP. She's a former MC aspirant, that award 2022. Hiyo kura haikuja, yeah, 2022. Tutajaza hii season. And she's the convener, Women in Political Network. So karibu sana, Wanjiku Dhiga, so that we move that order. So neza kuja tu hapa katikati, msikae mbali sana na wananchi. Somebody help me to move this so that we move swiftly. Karibu.
Habari yenu. Mheshimiwa Ndindi Nyoro, Mheshimiwa Punji, all aspirants, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Yeah, nilisikia mtu akitajwa hapa kama Nyamira aspirant. Sijui kama mlinichanganisha na huyo. No, I'm not a Nyamira aspirant. I'm here to represent the Jubilee Party. So as you heard, my name is Sakawa Mbeni. I also want to change a logo hapa. Isi logo yetu. Python. Isi logo yetu. Ndio ile iliingiza Ndindi Nyoro Parliament. Yes. So as Jubilee Party, najua wengi wenu mmekuwa mkisikia kwamba Jubilee ni chama ile iliisha. Jubilee ni chama ile ikipata uongozi inaisha hivyo hakuna kurudi tena. But I am here to say something that my deputy party leader usually emphasizes. He emphasizes that as a country we have over 80 political parties. We have more political parties, more than the whole of Europe combined. Na tukikuja pamoja, tukaamua ya kwamba, why should we be making other new parties when we can use the parties that we have? And as a party, Jubilee Party, we are a party that believes in the youth. Even before the Gen Zs were a thing, in 2013, we had our chair of the party, current governor of Nairobi, Sakaja. He was the chair of the Jubilee Party, the youngest chairman of a ruling party. That is in 2013. So you can imagine, if you believed in the youths in 2013, how much you can believe in the youths